Yeah. It's like kick your ass. All right, everybody, welcome to Freddy Fridays, Building a Business Week 8. Savannah and I have survived 2 months of starting a business. Savannah, what's it been like?
It's been wild. I feel like today we had like a big turning point in the business and just feeling like, okay, now we have it. Like we have an idea. We've been building it and pivoting and figuring out what works and building efficiencies ultimately. And I know we've talked about in past episodes looking at how other agencies operate, but I'm really, really happy with what we've built. And I can't imagine looking back a year from now.
Yeah, we have some pretty big missions. I mean, the central thesis is if we aggregated similar creators, then kind of the right kind of brands would work with us and we'd be able to offer them value that no one else could. And I do think that we have been slightly validated by that. And then we've also been working on some cool tech initiatives and a few other things we'll get to later. But in the short term today, somebody asked us a pretty nice question. It was, what's the difference when they send a camera crew and go record with a creator versus when the creator kind of brings their ideas to the table and you allow it to be done kind of in the style of a Benz and Bow Ties or a Russ Flips Whips? What sort of value do you get?
And I think it's interesting when we think about like the actual content and the storyboarding. And then on the flip side, the distribution. How strong is your organization's audience? And that's
Right.
different for everybody. But for the most part, it's going to be way more of a hit with that creator's audience. And that's why you went there to begin with.
It's funny because you and I often joke that working with creators is like the inverted problem of working with actors, where they're like too authentic. So when a brand tries to write in their voice, it's always kind of a flop. So I think the most successful way is allow the creator to come to the onboarding meeting with a little bit of a storyboard, let them lay out their vision and even sequence of events and camera angles and stuff like that, and then allow the brand to refine it from there. But if the brand comes in dictating sequence of events, camera angles, and length and like copy, so we do proceed with that often, usually not good outcomes. So I always like Russ or Benz or George Saliba to kind of come with the idea, let the brand refine the bullet points, and that's usually the best outcome. Then another thing is brands often make the mistake of not optimizing for length, obviously, short form, but then vertical video. Savannah, what have we learned about vertical video? Do you think what's more valuable in the long term, vertical video or kind of the YouTube style video?
I mean, vertical video is everything. It's when we look at the effectiveness of campaigns when they're in horizontal and long form, they're just not hitting. It needs to be vertical. And that kind of speaks to our podcast as well, trying to lean into that. So I believe that, this week was an interesting point as well when we worked on a large pitch. We've been working on it for several weeks. And last night we had the aha of, hey, we produce the best campaigns when we allow them to storyboard once we've closed the deal, but we brought them into the pitch and allowed them to share their ideas because it was something that they really wanted to work on. And it just transformed our concepts and reassured certain things, but also gave us other ideas. And so working in a collaborative group is just amazing.
It's the inverse Ron Burgundy, where like in Anchorman, you're probably too young for Anchorman, but he would like read perfectly off the little teleprompter. We have these people that can only read in their authentic voice. So Russ Flips Whips is really Russ Flips Whips. Benz and Bow Ties really is him. There are some people that play characters, but for the most part, these are their authentic selves. So Savannah, what happens to us January 1st? Are we still a company when TikTok is banned?
It's interesting. Like, let's just put politics aside on the topic of TikTok. I worry about a lot of the same things everyone else worries about. And I'm speechless. I think it's unbelievable, but yeah, I am worried. And I know that it's such a big platform that there's no way it's actually going to go away. I hope that Larry Ellison comes in, sweeps us off our feet, and we can move on.
If he can buy Michigan a quarterback, he can buy TikTok. And I like how we're talking real serious business while I'm holding my daughter's crayon. We're adults, so
I know I'm just bummed she didn't join the pod today. But I think Can't wait to talk more about NIL and buying quarterbacks in the next few weeks. But if this happens, like, this is gonna be a big issue. And this week, the number of times I've heard, hey, look at the transition from Google search to searching on social media.
Dealers said that dealers time and time again pull me aside and they're like, dude, my ad money I'm putting on TikTok is a much better place than any paid Google, any paid standard social. They seem to just have that kind of sweet moment where conversions are happening there. And that's something you and I are very passionate about. I know you and I like bang our head against the wall every morning and go, how do you and I build the like to know it for automotive? Where basically, people can do a walk around, present inventory, convert on social, and the lead push into the CRM. So that should be something we build in the long term. Another thing we want to build in the long term, Savannah, is enabling that vertical short form video to live everywhere. And we had a cool meeting yesterday about the possibility of kind of pushing that vertical video back towards a publishing ecosystem. And I think that's another mission we have in the long term is like the enabling creators vertical video to go backwards if they're the right insight and the right matchmake for various publishers like newspapers or news websites or content websites and stuff like that.
It's funny when we talk about like converting leads, I feel like we have like our first big like drum roll moment on reporting in a dealership. Go for it, John.
Yeah, we had a great vindicating moment yesterday. We went through a dealership's return on ad spend and where their leads were coming from. Leads attributed to sales, so very low funnel, high value things. Number one source, Google organic. Number two source, Google paid. Third source, and this has been a dealership that we've been coaching on how to do social media. Their third biggest source of leads for the dealership that turned into sales was the social media link trees on TikTok and Instagram. So there's something to it, guys. If you're not doing it, hit us up. I think it's really what sets our business apart. And every day, Savannah and the team put in significant effort to curate our, social media coaching and make it the very best possible thing. And Russ Flips Whips is the best at it.
I was so excited when we heard that.
I know, it's our mission. We'll crack it. That, in the long term, I really think that is our mission in life is every day younger people than me use social media as a search engine with very deliberate intent. You have the ability to come across very personalized in the way you're offering inventory or the why buy or customer service stories or even Google reviews. Like the modern Google review is just like a good looking social media video. So I think we are enabling that ecosystem to look good, feel good, convert good. And that's the game.
Big time. What else is going on in week 8, John?
Well, I finished my landscaping. This house started last September. I'm finally all done with it. So it's been almost a year and 3 months. So with that,
only cut all of the underground internet connection, but it's done.
That's okay. That was just, somebody cutting the internet line the final day. Doesn't matter at all. So anyway, we've done a lot of big projects. The house is done. I'll need some other horrible undertaking to waste my time. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. It's been a big week, and hats off to Savannah for really delivering a lot of value to our company and our clients and our creators. She is really like the best coworker we've ever had. And Savannah did something today that we're all so proud of. So thank you, Savannah.
Thank you so much. You give me way too much credit. I appreciate you believing in the creativity, as quirky as it may be, but I'm having a blast and I'm excited to make it to week 9.
Awesome. Thanks, Savannah.
Thanks.